Good late morning, all. It is the 22nd of March, 2024, on a very cool day, a little bit breezy. I'm trying out this new lapel mic here that has the little cute little windsock, fuzzy windsock on it. That's supposed to eliminate or drastically reduce the wind noise. That's been a problem with my videos. Of course, today it's not really very windy, so it's probably not a good test, but at least this will be a good check of the sound quality. Um, Today is the last day I'll be able to work until at least Sunday. Tomorrow, Saturday, and starting tonight, Friday night, we're going to get a deluge of rain, a lot of rain. Not looking forward to that. So I'll get what I can done today. Got a couple more items recently. Got my rear shocks now. These were advertised as Gabriel's, but they're turned out to be Napa with a Gabriel part number on them. But still, they'll do. Those are for the rears, and I got this really nice windshield washer reservoir. I've never had one of these before, a new one like that. That came from, what was it, the old parts store or something like that used to be Baker's Auto a long time ago. That's where I got that from. I'm waiting on the windshield washer pump from Mark II Enterprises. Mark II Enterprises has also sent me the collar I need for the steering column. Hasn't got here yet. And I'm still waiting for the upper shock mount from John Lyman. I don't think that's going to make it here in time for me to be ready to drive the car, so I'm probably going to reuse the old upper shock mount that somebody else put together to hold it for a little while anyway. I'm also in the process of creating my first video that's specific to a system on the car. What I did is I chopped up a bunch of videos and created one that's just about the fuel tank. It's almost 2 hours long, and it's uploading right now inside. But I wanted to do that for reference purposes for myself and anybody else that might want to look at it. If you've been following my videos, then you've already seen all the various pieces and parts of this, but this is the first time it'll be consolidated into one video from beginning to end that shows the whole process I went through to restore my gas tank. So we'll see how that goes. Today, my main goal, I guess I should tell you what I plan on doing today. My main goal today is to finish with the front end. Uh, my last video I showed how I put the steering linkage back together. It's still in my shed. I'm going to go grab it and install that on the car. It shouldn't take very long. There's only 3 points that I need to attach to the pitman arm. I need to bolt the idler arm to the frame, and I need to connect the outer tie rods to the spindles. So that shouldn't take too long. And then I'll put the front shocks on, and after all that, I'll lower the car on the ground and get the rear of the car up on ramps. And I think I can just drive it up on the ramps to put the rear shocks on, and we'll go from there. It looks like this little lapel mic maybe picks up a little too well, but I can tone the volume down when I'm putting the video together. Just wanted to show you that I have the new center link, and the tie rods are in place now. They're not tightened down yet. I struggled a little bit at first getting everything in place. I just finished getting the idler arm attached to the frame, so now I can go and torque everything down and put my cotter keys in, all that stuff. So looking good. What's really amazing to me, I don't know if you recall, but I lost one of my grease fittings for one of those tie rods, and I don't know how this happened, but there it is. I found it sitting right on top of that spindle where that nut is. I have no idea how that happened. I don't remember having that over here like that, and yet there it is, undeniably. So if I so choose, I can put that one in the new tie rod end if I want to. I just thought I would share that. So now I'm going to finish tightening things up, and I'll be done with that part. All right, I have now completed the steering linkage installation. Everything's in place. All grease fittings are greased. And of course, I put that smaller grease fitting, the original one, back on that new outer tie rod. Why not? Does not look nice. It's just sitting up there so tall and sitting right where it's supposed to. Everything is new. I snugged up the adjusting sleeves. I didn't tighten them all the way because I figured the front end, the person that's going to align the front end might need to do adjustments. So I'm not driving this more than a couple miles to get it over to that shop. So that's fine the way it is. Next thing I'm going to do is install the front shocks after a quick view on the other side too of the steering linkage. Everything went in pretty smoothly. Didn't really have any problems. So I think it looks great. Continuing on. Alright, I've just finished mounting the front shock absorbers. I wanted to illustrate the difference between the two top mounts. This is the proper one on this side, has the original style bracket right here. And apparently those things must break a lot because people are having trouble getting me a used one. But John's working on it. On the other side, at that same location on top, you can see the difference. It's not compressing as much as it should because of the design of the bolt that's being used here. However, it'll do for now until I can get a proper mount on this side. It'll do for now. So I'm going to need to secure the splash shield. Yeah, maybe it'll be okay. Because what I want to do now is put the tires back on the front wheels and then back it up onto some ramps so I can get the rear shocks taken care of. I might be able to just raise it without driving it up on ramps since I don't have a steering wheel, but I figured I'd probably be pretty safe just going straight up on ramps. But we'll see how that goes. So at this point, for all practical intents and purposes, the front end is now done. It is complete. All right, it's a little bit later in the day. I've got that left front wheel back on. I'm done on this side of the car. I'm just waiting on the windshield washer pump to show up so I can put that shield back in place behind the front wheel, and then I can put that wheel on, and then I will be able to get the wheel up on the ramps, or the car up on the ramps for the shocks in the back. Don't think that's going to happen today. It's getting late, and I'm waiting on the post office and either FedEx or the post office or both for parts. So I may not get that done today, and then tomorrow's a rain day. We'll see what Sunday holds. I did get a couple small things done, though, while I'm waiting. I pulled out the nozzles here from my carburetor cleaner basket. They sat in that carburetor cleaner for about 4 or 5 days, and they did a great job. It ate all the paint off of it, and I was able to use my air hose from my pancake compressor to blow through this and watch the air shoot out of the nozzle. So now I know that that will work with my new windshield washer pump, which I'm waiting on. But what I also already got was my new Lincoln Continental windshield washer reservoir. I've never had a new one before that looks like that. Isn't that pretty? And I put a new hose on it too to connect to the pump when that gets here. So this might be my closing video for today, depending on how late I get more parts today. It may not be. So for now, I will pause. All right, the postal lady just came by and dropped off a couple of goodies. I have a refurbished vent passenger window switch for my right front door from Felix LaFour. He always does good work at reasonable prices. I do have to send my old one back, though, for the core. And I also received from Mark II Enterprises my brand new windshield washer pump. Isn't that beautiful? The only thing I was questioning about it is the way they routed the ground strap on the new one. The ground strap on the new one, instead of being on the bottom here like the old one was, is sitting here out the side. I'm not sure they actually put that together correctly, if they built this or how that works or what happened there, but I was surprised to see that. I think they actually made a mistake, or somebody did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have to drill a hole right next to the existing hole, so it'll go straight through because it's designed for the mounting bolt to go through there and then ground it. So I'm not sure what happened there, but anyway, that's a minor thing. I can work through that. All right, I have completed the installation of my new windshield washer pump. My new reservoir is all hooked up. I've also added some windshield washer fluid to it. So there she sits, properly mounted, new hoses all the way through the system now. So now we're going to do a test. I think I mentioned earlier that I cleaned out the nozzles and carburetor parts cleaner and then rinsed it off with air, blew air through them and all that. So here we go. Here's the first test. Let's see what happens. Absolutely nothing. Great. All right, so let me figure out why the motor's not running. All right, second attempt. Here we go. This plug down here must be messing up. There it goes. And there you see it. Very exciting. It looks like that one's still a little messed up, but anyway, that's pretty exciting for me. I'll keep working on that left nozzle. I'm surprised it's plugged up at all. All right, turned out it wasn't plugged up at all. It was just hitting the wiper arm. So once I move that out of the way, it's fine. So I'm going to wrap that up. I put the shield back on, so I'm going to put that right front tire back on. Then I'll be able to take her down off the jacks on the front And since I didn't get that collar yet for the bearing, I can't put the steering wheel back on, so I can't drive the car yet. And tomorrow's going to rain, so I guess I'm going to wait on the rear shocks too. It's getting kind of late today, so it was a good day though. Well, I thought I was ready to wrap up the day, but after I put the other tire on the car, the passenger side, I noticed that it's pointing in a different direction, slightly to the right, as compared to the driver's side, which is pretty much straight on. So that tells me how loose the old steering components were. So before I put this on the ground, I'm just going to eyeball it and adjust that tie rod sleeve on this side to bring it in more. I mean, I don't want to leave it quite that obvious that it's that far off. So there's the sleeve right here. I've never actually done this before, so I don't know how easy or difficult this will be, or even what direction I need to move this to make this work. So this is going to be interesting. We'll see how I do. All right, that took quite a bit of adjusting on both sides, actually. I moved the sleeve on this side quite a bit, and I also had to move it a few turns on this side, but just eyeballing it, it's pretty much straight down the road now on both sides, and I'm just going to leave it like that because this is not the final adjustment. It's just for me to get down the road a couple miles to start with. And I think I'm going to conclude this video now. It was a pretty good day. I finished with the front end completely. Shocks are in, all the steering linkage is in, ball joints have been replaced, the wheels are back on. I'm going to put it back on the ground here. And tomorrow's a bye because of the rain. We'll see how Sunday looks. The main thing I'd want to do on Sunday is put the rear shocks on and replace that vent window switch so I can return that to Felix the 4 for my core. Have a good evening.